Hey folks, this is Pickwick Marine Electronics, and I just want to introduce to you a sliding plate. For those of you that use electric steer motors on things like bass boats, you know that electric steer motors like the Minn Kota Terrova, the Ulterra, and the Motor Guide, they stick out quite a bit. So there's always a danger that as you're coming into your trailer that you're going to strike the trolling motor first, the trolling motor and the boat up. So what we have here is we have a sliding plate that helps eliminate that. It's a quick release. It's a very solidly built plate, as you can see, and it's quite heavy. It's 14 pounds. As you can see, it's very thick. Let's take a closer look at this. I can't remember the manufacturer's name off the top of my head. I don't carry these because they're actually quite expensive and they're quite heavy to ship. So I will link the manufacturer in my YouTube or at the bottom of my YouTube video. Okay, all right, give my camera lady to move in here. Let's take a look at this product. Okay, now you notice, first thing you'll notice is this has a quick release knob. That is simply so you can slide it into launch position and retract it like so. Locks in. Okay, there are two pieces to this plate. Okay, and let me take this apart right here. All right, we have two pieces. We have a piece that mounts on the boat. Okay, nice and small. Chunky, but nice and small. It's not real wide. Then we have the piece that mounts on the trolling motor. Okay, and the only problem I've seen with this product is these bolt holes right here. These take flat-headed stainless steel bolts, not the oval ones, but flatheads, which are a little difficult to find in my neck of the woods. They may not be in yours. So anyway, I'm going to install this plate. Once I get this plate installed, I'll try to shoot another video. I may even try to shoot a little video while I'm installing it. But for right now, I just wanted to introduce this to you. It simply slides back together this way. Pull the knob, boom. Ready to mount. First thing we're going to do is we're going to mount this plate. This is the boat mounting plate. We're going to mount this plate on the boat. Okay, I want you to notice, I forgot to show you this in the other video, this little notch right here goes to the rear. Okay, that's the rear of the plate. And what I've done here is, you see this piece of red tape? I took both plates, I slid them together, I put it in the launch position, slid it up forward, I put it in the launch position, and then I took my Terrova and I launched it. Okay, I had it sticking up and down. I launched it, I set it on top of the plates. Have somebody help you with that now, because it's very awkward and heavy. I put it on top of the plates right here, and I made sure I had clearance right here. Got to have clearance, okay? Make sure you double check that. So while my helper held the plate and trolling motor in place, I took and put a piece of tape right here. So I know I have to be in front of that. It doesn't mean I'm going to put it right there, but I have to be in front of it. Another thing you might notice, my old holes, I took marine grade silicone and filled them up. I always recommend that. That way when you get water over the bow of the boat, you don't have water getting in between the layers of your fiberglass. So take you some marine grade silicone, fill up your own holes. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get this plate down, put one bolt right here, temporarily put a nut on it. That way you can pivot it so you can adjust the angle of how the trolling motor lays in the boat. So we're going to put one hole right here. I pretty much know where I need to be. Then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to test and make sure the motor lays properly, or I'll show you how to mount it on the bottom, mount the plate to the motor, and then I'll show you how to test and make sure everything lays properly. All right, guys, we'll be back here in a little bit. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to mount this plate. This is your trolling motor plate. We're going to mount this on this Terrova. They're all very similar. Ulterra's, the new Motor Guide X5. Okay, everything's pretty similar. All right, you notice we have holes in here. They line up with these holes on the Terrova plate. Now, once again, these are flat heads. They're not ovals. Okay, line the plate up with the holes. Make sure you do not cover this slot. You can if you're not careful. That is the launch slot on all these types of motors. Make sure you don't cover that. Okay, from that point it's very easy. Just line it up, take the flathead bolt, drop it through there, and as my camera person will show you, the bolt comes out, put the nut on it, and you're done. Okay, all right, we're going to get this thing mounted, and we'll be right back to show you how to adjust the angle on your boat. Okay guys, we have the trolling motor plate on, we have the boat plate on, one bolt with a nut on the bottom of it. Very important, make sure you thread a nut on the bottom of it. Doesn't have to be a lock nut, just a nut. All right, now what we're going to do is I temporarily slide the plates together. Be careful, get some help. You can tear your boat up, you can scratch it really bad here. All right, we're going to slide this mount up in place. Once again, be very careful. All right, the plates should line up in the front. You hear it click. All right, now what that lets us do is we can rotate this. We can adjust the angle how we want it to lay in the boat. You want it clear on the outside of the boat. All right, you want to make sure you're in the outside perimeters of the boat right here. In most cases, that's not a problem. All right, so now we can, get this angle just how we want it. We can make sure all the sliding mechanism is clear, this sliding mechanism right here. And another thing we can do, if your boat's like mine, I can actually take the adjustment knob and I can make it short enough that I can actually launch it. Now, be very careful when you do this because this plate has a tendency to try to rock forward because we only have one bolt in it. Okay, if you look, here's my clearance. I've got a good finger, okay, got a good finger clearance. That's all we need. You don't even need that, but I like to leave that. Okay, if you can't launch your motor, okay, let's look back down here. If you can't launch your motor, it's extremely important. You'd rather be too far forward as too far back. So just remember that. You can, let me borrow the camera there just a second, camera person. All right, you can take and look right here. And if you look straight down, you'll notice that we're clear of the boat. And that's sort of a tough angle to see, but we're clear of the boat. That will also let you know that the motor will launch properly. Okay? All right, we're going to give it back to my camera lady there. All right, when I get done, I will shoot a finished video. I'll come back and show you how well this thing works and why I think this is a superior product to the others on the market. All right, one little video here showing you how I drill my holes. I'm back on tripod. My camera lady has a ball game to watch, so she has bailed on me, my daughter. All right, so I have drilled 4 holes. If you'll notice, each time I drill a hole, I drop a temporary bolt in there. That's where you get everything lined up. Make sure before you start drilling these that all the holes, the old holes, are covered. Mine were extremely close. I had to double check and triple check everything. Okay. All right, so let's drill a hole here. Now, what I like to do is I like to take my drill, 1/4-inch drill bit, and I like to start on slow. Okay, you'll see it go down in the plate there. Start it on slow. All right, a little bit of pressure, not a lot, takes a little bit. All right, then click it over to fast, drop it back in the hole. Okay, whoop, didn't click it. Okay, finish drilling the hole, takes a little pressure. I like to clean it out. You notice a little bit of wood there. My Ranger is old enough they still use wood in the deck, which to me is never a problem. Okay, once I get that done, drop a temporary in there. I drop it all the way in there, just like that. All right, now let's drill this last one right here. Go to slow. Make sure your plate's solid. Clean it out. Click it over to fast. we go. Now we have all our holes drilled. We're ready to install this. As soon as I find some more flathead bolts, which I'm going to go to the hardware store in a minute. All right, now, a couple of things here. Be very, very careful before you start drilling these holes, that there's nothing inside the boat, under the deck, that's in the way. Wires, sometimes trolling motor wiring gets looped up under there. Reach under there and make sure. Make sure that you can reach all the bolts from under the deck, all right? Sometimes you got to find a friend with a skinny arm that can reach up in there and hold all the nuts for you. Next thing, always use a backing plate, large washers, something on the back. Don't just put a nut in a small washer. There is a very nice backing plate out there. I can't remember who makes it. You might put trolling motor backing plate and find the manufacturer. It won't fit in my Ranger. These older Rangers don't have a lot of room under there. I'd have to modify it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some strips of aluminum. Okay. Now, just to be clear, when I'm talking backing plate, we're talking inside, okay, on the bottom where the nuts go. But I'm just going to take some strips of aluminum. I'm going to make some little bitty backing plates for myself. Okay, there's several things you can do. I really like the backing plate. It just won't fit in this application. Okay, just a little short video there. Once again, when I'm through completely getting everything mounted, I will make a quick video showing you how nice this product was. Okay, guys, as promised, this is the finished install. A couple things. Well, one thing from that side of the camera that you might want to notice is there is a bolt right here. That bolt is the bolt that you put in the bottom or in the top part of the bracket, and that keeps the bracket together. That way when you're launching and retrieving your motor or sliding it, it doesn't just slide right out. I took that bolt out during install so that we could take the two pieces apart. But as you can see, all you do is pull the pin, and it's just almost a one finger operation. I've got my hand right up here, pull the pin, boom, we're done. Okay, this is just to me, this is just a much better product than what I had on my boat. What I had on my boat before was made by the one of the trolling motor manufacturers, and it was serviceable. But to get it to slide, I'd have to shake it and slide it and shake it. Nothing to this one. All right, it does have just a little bit of wiggle in it. It seems like a lot, but that's not much. I mean, it's plenty good enough, or plenty fine for running up and down the lake. Okay, one more time. Launch position. Everything is clear. Retract position. We're clear on the bow to run up on the boat. So that's the end of our install video for this particular trolling motor bracket. Let's do a quick rundown here. Just a few things to remember when you're installing a bracket like this. Number one, when you're positioning your bracket, put one hole, just one hole in one of the bolt holes. That way you can manipulate it so you can get the angle you want on your boat. Number two, be careful that you cover all the old bolt holes. This particular bracket does not match any existing holes by manufacturers, so make sure you cover them all. Put silicone in those old holes and let it dry overnight or something before you start messing with it. Otherwise you're going to end up with silicone everywhere, but make sure you put silicone in those holes. Number three, as you mount the bracket, drill the holes, drop a temporary bolt in them. Remember, it keeps it tight. That way you're not holding it down trying to drill holes and your hand slips a little bit and your bolt holes won't line up. Drill a hole, put a bolt in. Next thing, and I did not video this, I forgot. When you're doing an install, it's a one-time shot, but I forgot to video this. Put silicone around the bolts so that they're around the bolts under the mount. Okay, let me all right, for example, let's say this screwdriver is a bolt. Okay, my hand's going to be the mount. You've got your holes drilled. slide the bolt through the mount, take some silicone, run right around here, okay? So you're gonna have 6 bolts hanging down with silicone around them. Slowly lower your mount, shake the bolts, have somebody help you, and push this down onto the cap of your boat, okay? You do not want to get silicone on this lower part of this thread. That's why you don't put it on the cap. That's why you put it on the bolts right up here. If you get silicone on those threads, what's going to happen is when you go to take that bolt off at some point in the future, or that nut off, you're going to start backing it off. It's going to feel fine, and all of a sudden it's going to get some of that dried silicone in the thread, between the threads of the bolt and the nut, and boom, she's locked. You're not budging it. You got to break it off. So put silicone on, apply it by that method right there. Next time I do a trolling motor install, I'll try to remember to film that. Okay? Alright, so quick recap. Make sure you cover those old bolt holes. Make sure you silicone those old bolt holes. Make sure you put silicone between the bracket and the boat cap. Okay? And last but not least, make sure you put something underneath between the, or inside the boat when you put the nuts on, so that you have some stability there. Like I said, T&H Marine makes a great plate. I couldn't have fit that in my boat, so I just put some pieces of aluminum. Alright, folks, we're going to, I'm going to try to do more install videos. They're a little tough to shoot. Most of the time I'm trying to shoot them on my own, which makes it a little tough to do. And like I said, when you're doing install videos, you get one shot and one shot only. Alright, and then when I forget to do something, well, there I am. I'm not going to uninstall it to video it. So anyway, sorry about the audio on these last couple of videos. It's raining and my shop has a tin roof in it, so that's what you're hearing. Pardon the mess. I'm right in the middle of redoing my boat, putting some new cabling and stuff in there for some of my demo units, so everything's a mess in here right now. Visit the YouTube channel often. We're going to try to update the videos fairly often. Go to Facebook. Follow my Facebook page. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.